The first time Mom, Dad, and I started talking about going to Colorado Springs back in 1992, I remember thinking to myself, what 30-something gal would want to take a vacation with her parents? Seriously? But we kept talking, and the ideas soon grew on me. So for 7 years, we made the trek to spend a week in the Colorado Rockies. The first few nights of every trip were brutal for me because they went to bed early and got up really early. And I'm the opposite. Late to bed, late to rise. Of course, I had to be quiet at the nighttime. They didn't, however, have to return that kindness the next morning. But by about the third night, I was crawling into bed at 8 and was back up with them at 5 o'clock. Dad was a trooper, having Mom and me drag him all over Colorado Springs. Shopping, shopping, shopping. There were 2 stores that specialized in all things penguins, and I had to go every year to pick up gifts for my good friend Marilyn, who collected them and also took such great care of my kitties while I was gone. We always went to the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. Daddy loved peanut brittle. We made 2 or 3 trips every year to the Garden of the Gods for the majestic views. Dad and I went to the top of Pikes Peak several times, though Mom never made the trip. Her fear of heights kept her from seeing the beauty that sparked that wonderful song, America the Beautiful. Every Tuesday was Senior Citizens Day at the casinos in Cripple Creek. So we'd go spend some quarters. Daddy would later tell the story how Vicks salve won me some money. My nose was dry, so I grabbed my Vicks and put a little dab on. Instead of wiping my fingers on the tissue, I laughingly picked up the quarters, kind of spread the Vicks on the quarters, put them in the slots, and I won $400. I bought lunch that day, and I think dinner as well. One trip, Mom and I convinced Daddy that we needed to go to Cheyenne, Wyoming. Why, he asked us. With a disgusted sigh, Mom and I both said, to get magnets, of course. We collected magnets. Every trip we went on, we had magnets to put on the refrigerator. So 3.5 hours later, we had magnets. There were times throughout our childhood where Daddy worked 2 or 3 jobs to support our family. Mom always worked too. They both taught us by example to be hardworking, sincere, and honest. I got my love of typing and shorthand from Mom, and still love it to this day. I think it was Rick that recently told us they taught us all to be workaholics. What a great tribute to them that we are lucky to be able to work and provide for our families as they always provided for us, no matter what. We never lacked for anything we needed. When Dad was going through treatment after Mom passed away, he would fuss about us having to take time off from work to help take him back and forth through the treatments. And he didn't want us to do that. He didn't want us to fuss over him. And we were talking about that at the doctor's one day, and his oncologist said, let your children help. You took care of them when they were little. Now it's their turn. And Dad's response was, it was my job, it was my duty to take care of my children. And that's what I did. But he did relent and let us help him. Every day, he took care of his family. The love that Mom and Dad shared was truly one of a kind. They celebrated 50 years of marriage last year. And many of you here today were with us then as we celebrated their golden anniversary. They were together once again, this time for all eternity. I came across these lyrics, and they seemed to be written especially for them. Before I knew your name, you knew my every breath. Before I found my way, you knew my every step. Before I knew everything that I need, you gave it all to me. No greater love than this, that you should lay down your life for someone such as me. I'd spend a lifetime wondering why. The beauty of heaven is here in my heart, and I know there can never be no greater love than this. I know how blessed I am to have had such wonderful, loving, and fun parents, and they leave behind a remarkable legacy in us, their children, their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren, nieces, nephews, cousins, and all the people who knew and loved them. On behalf of our family, we thank you for the love, prayers, and support you have given us in the last 6 months during the darkest times we have experienced in our family. You have sustained us and lifted us up when we felt we couldn't get up on our own. And we thank you for being here today to show that love once again. We love you. I also